Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to talk about this workhorse, the 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid LE all-wheel drive. So here at the front of the vehicle, we do have projector headlights, great visibility with this version of this vehicle, great upgrade. I have the previous version of this. My headlights are good. These are full generation better, and as your eyes get older, that is more important to you. This current model does not have fog lights. They can be added as an accessory, but the base trim does not come with a fog light package. Pretty standard grille, good ventilation. This with the black and white combination, I kind of like. The white is probably one of my favorite colors in this vehicle, simply because it's easy to keep clean unless your neighbors have blue grapes and the birds are around eating them and they fly over your car, but otherwise pretty standard feature. Let's start here on the driver's side of the vehicle. Standard alloy wheel package on the LE all-wheel drive. That is a 17-inch wheel and tire package. With the white is kind of just a kind of a smoky silver. I do like it with that combination of color. This is the standard size that all the RAV4 and RAV4 hybrids will take if you do go to a smaller winter tire and wheel package, and that is available as an accessory to go with any of these vehicles. As is standard from 2019 forward, you do have the turn indicator on the mirrors on both the driver and passenger side, and the blind spot monitoring indicator is on the mirrors. Come back here a little further, you have your conventional key. So this trim actually will still open with a key. It does come with keyless entry. So like with every Toyota, one click on the open opens the driver's door, 2 clicks opens the entire vehicle. One of the weird differences between the hybrid and the gas is the hybrid says all-wheel drive on the side and the gas doesn't. Why? I have no idea, but that's one of the things I observe on all these vehicles. Again, because it is a hybrid, it is a locked fuel door, because all of the fuel systems on our hybrid vehicles are pressurized systems and the doors are automatically locked. So that is meant to be a safety feature. So standard for 2024, all of the RAV4 hybrids do come with the knockouts on the roof rails. So this vehicle is designed to accept a crossbar system for sport accessories, bike racks, ski racks, all those things. You just need a set of crossbars and the punch outs are there in place. I've installed a couple of these for friends. Really easy to install. All you need is a little step ladder and away you go. Let's have a look at the rear of this vehicle. So again, LE all-wheel drive, entry trim level. So a lot of manual features, everything works great. You just have to use a little muscle power. So the release for the hatch is right there by the insignia. So hydraulic assist, but again, you have to manually unlock it and you manually close it as well. So nothing magical there, everybody's used to that. So really great cargo space here. Good open space, really easy access. Flip the switches, you got a 60/40 rear split. So this particular trim does not come with the privacy cover. Upper trims do come with it factory. It is available, but it doesn't come as a standard feature. So some pretty good functionality here. There is a 12-volt accessory port here that if you want to plug in an electric cooler or something like that, or a charge for another device you're storing back here, it will work. That I believe is only powered when the ignition switch is on in the vehicle. Under the floor here, not a full-size spare, but there is a spare. Comes with the RAV4 hybrid, so there it is, stored in there. The carpeted mats come stored in there as well. Your jack, everything else is where it should be and where you'd expect. So good usable space, and 4 tie-down points available here as well for tethering anything down. You want to tie anything down or put a net in there for groceries, cargo, all available. So on the rear of this vehicle, it does have 3 attachment points for child seats. So great for a family. Good configuration, so you can do 2 on one side, 1 on the other, whatever works for you. And interestingly enough, Toyota has added this neat little safety feature right here, hopefully you can see it, that if your rear seats are not properly mounted and latched, you see this little red indicator here to say, hey, you're not quite safe yet. So unless you hear the clunk and see the little red indicator go away, you know that these seats are not latched, so that's just a neat little feature that's back there. So again, great cargo space, good open area. Again, this is kind of the workhorse of our sales. Our sales team love this car. We just need to get more of them. This is making up more than 50% of sales, is this trim level of the RAV4 hybrid. Great value for money and incredible reliability. So let's go have a look at the front of the vehicle and go to the inside. So here we are at the driver's side of the vehicle. Driver's door, pretty standard configuration. Your mirror controls are here. Window switches, as you would expect on any vehicle. Standard lockout features, so the driver can control what goes on with the passenger and rear passengers windows. You can lock them in, lock them out. So I hop in here and have a seat, see what I see. Pretty standard configuration. Dimmer switch for the dash lights are there. Audio controls in the steering wheel, just like any of the newer Toyotas. You do have a heated cowling. I was not a long-term Toyota driver until I came to the company, and I would always see this switch on the old Toyotas, and it looks like a windshield wiper with a wire going through it. I always wondered what it was, and it is a heated cowling. So most of the Toyotas, and they've been doing this for a long time, have a heated section on the bottom edge of the windshield. And us living in Atlantic Canada, where we get a lot of slush and a lot of freezing and thawing, you'll be going down the highway and your wipers freeze up. If you press that button while you're driving, when your wipers park down, they're parked in a heated zone and they will not ice up, and you don't get that awful streaking that you get as you're on the highway. So that's a really nice feature that I like, even on our base cars. So standard functionality, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in as standard features. This current model year, 2020, I believe 2023 and newer, it's wireless. Prior to that, you had to plug it in to get it to work, so it is currently wireless in this generation. Heated seats are a standard feature in this vehicle. They work really well, nice and hot, nicely up the bottom of your back. All of the new RAV4s come with a standard electronic parking brake, so no more pull up here or down on the floor that a lot of us are used to. So it comes on automatically. It makes a really funny noise. It's supposed to do that. And because it is being turned on and off every time you put the vehicle in and out of gear, they tend to last really well, low maintenance, because they're constantly being used, which is perfect, because the curse of the older parking brakes was if you didn't use them, they seized up and they became a repair bill from basically negligence in our environment. So what else do I see here? I see on the shift control, there are 3 settings on the transmission, and literally they are computer programs. There's Eco and there's Sport, and there's normal. It defaults to normal every time you turn it on, and then you can toggle to eco. Generally, what the difference is between those 3 settings is if you just get in the vehicle and drive on normal setting, you will get 95% of what this vehicle is capable of as fuel economy. You'll get awesome fuel economy. I do mostly town driving with mine, and it's no problem for me to stay under 5 liters per 100. If you do drive in standard setting, you will get excellent fuel economy. If you go to eco mode, it is the equivalent of driving like a 54-year-old man, like I would. You drive a little slower, you're a little slower on the takeoff, you take a little longer to get up to speed. The opposite of that is sport mode, a little more pickup, a little more responsive. The difference between the two is, on average, customers tell us if you toggle between eco and sport, you're going to use about 5% more fuel in sport mode than you do in normal, and you may use 5% less in eco mode. So for those of you who are really looking for either performance is not going to cost you a whole bunch of money. And if you're looking for fuel economy, you can squeeze it a little harder and get a little better fuel economy out of it, but the default settings on this vehicle will give you great responsiveness, great performance, and really respectable fuel economy for a full-size SUV. So overall, as I said, this is our best-selling RAV4. It makes up the biggest portion of our sales just because it's really good bang for your buck, really good value in this package. 2 full-size cup holders here. We have a good-sized storage bin here. 2 USB-C powered charge ports, and there's a conventional USB interface down here for anyone who's using older technology, using conventional USB either for power or to interface with the audio unit to play music off of a different older generation device. And way down in there, there's also an old school 12 volt power outlet that most people would consider a cigarette lighter, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. So yeah, so that's the seating position. I'm gonna adjust this to where I'm comfortable, and then I'm going to go have a seat in the back and see what the legroom is like as a passenger. So here we are in the rear of the 24 RAV4 Hybrid, again LE package. So cloth seating, I've got to say, this is my first time as a passenger back here. This is incredibly comfortable. The angle to the back of the seat is really good for me. I've got some back issues, and this is super comfortable. I've got lots of headroom. Again, I have a long torso, and traditionally I sit a little higher in the vehicle than people at my height normally. I have a ton of headroom. That's a really nice feature. It comes standard with these 2-piece mats that hook over here on the hump, and the hump is very small because on the RAV Hybrid there is no conventional physical drive shaft. It's a drive-by wire system. There are two rear electric motors under me on the axle that put the power to the rear wheels. And I'm actually sitting directly above the high voltage battery pack of this vehicle. So there's one difference between this vehicle and the gas-powered vehicle is right here. There is venting, is that I am sitting on the battery pack, and that battery, because it's charging and discharging constantly, generates heat. And it diffuses heat by literally drawing air through that to cool these batteries. So every now and again, there is a difference on this vehicle versus the non-hybrids, is that they do recommend that we disassemble that for you. We clean the filters just so you get proper airflow to get good longevity out of those batteries. And again, on this version, moving from 2022, I believe, forward, the hybrid batteries in this vehicle are guaranteed by Toyota for 10 years and 200, I believe it's 240,000 kilometers, but if I'm wrong, somebody will change it. They'll make comments in the comments and say, hey, you need to know your product better, and they're right, I do, so my apologies. So really comfortable here. I'm really pleasantly surprised. Again, good height on the armrest. It's a little higher than it is in the Camry, which I like, and a couple of good cup holders. I see that there is a storage area on the back of the passenger side, but not on the driver's. Not a big deal. Nobody's carrying magazines or maps anymore anyway, so I don't know what they're for. Maybe can slide a sandwich in there, who knows. Okay, let's have a look at the rest of the vehicle and see if I can find anything else interesting to talk about. Let's pop the hood and see what we can find under here that may or may not have any value to you as a consumer shopping for a RAV4 hybrid. So this is always the fun part, where I get to see how embarrassed I can make myself trying to open the hood of every vehicle. Okay, so there it is. Okay, very good. Okay, so that went okay. Obviously, as you can see as I open this, the prop rod is well marked on this one. This is a bit of a gooey mess, as it should be. Living in Atlantic Canada as we do, the customer who's taking delivery of this vehicle has chosen to have it undercoated, which is always a great idea. Toyota builds excellent vehicles that if you lived in Arizona, they'll last forever. We're not in Arizona. So we always recommend rust protection on our vehicles. For the average consumer, once you get under here, what you need to know is that is a 2.5 liter Toyota hybrid drive system, 2.5 liter gas engine paired with the hybrid drive. This is 4th generation. The combined fuel economy of this 2.5 liter hybrid drive is 6 liters per 100. So for this vehicle is outstanding when you consider that it is a full-size SUV, it is all-wheel drive, you know, and you put 5 adults in here very comfortably. So again, back to the average consumer, washer fluid, coolant, dipstick that you may or may not ever touch. Again, majority of us consumers really don't have any business being under here except to know here's where it is and here's where the technicians will work when they do change your oil and service your vehicle. Again, with regular service, we're seeing these vehicles with ridiculously high kilometers on them. Great resale value, really comfortable. Yeah, as I say, this has been the best-selling RAV4 at this dealership now for a couple of years, and it really comes down to if we could get more, we could sell more. It's just the consumers love them, and yeah, that's a good problem to have for us. I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Leave some notes in the comments, make fun of things and mistakes that I've made. You should, because this is not what I do for a living. I'm just blathering on. So like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to talk about the 2025 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid XSE package. So here we are at the front of the 2025 RAV4 Hybrid XSE. So some of the visual cues on the 2025 that have changed from the 2024. We have lost our traditional blue emblem that is in the Toyota badge here. Up until 2024, this has always been blue. Toyota is slowly making her way from that signature look because we're just making the assumption that moving forward, most of our vehicles are going to be hybrid or plug-in hybrid vehicles. That is a first visual cue for me that I recognize. This is the XSE with the tech package. So we have lots of sonar sensors here. So we have proximity warning for front facing on the parking. We have a lovely high gloss black lower cowling on the vehicle and the gloss grille. So as we come down the side of the vehicle, we have our fog lights. We have a nice high gloss black wheel arch that wraps around here, gives a nice accent to the white. We have a matched high gloss black wheel on the XSE package. Again, nice dynamic look on the vehicle. The A-pillar is matched gloss black as well. The gloss black mirror with the indicator light built in. And on the lower cowling also, you have the high gloss black, again, lovely contrast. The door handle is color matched on this trim level. As we come back, another 18-inch gloss black wheel, and the nice black surround here on the taillight, as well as the black gloss roof and down into the back pillar of the vehicle. So visually quite dynamic, and the only RAV4s that actually come in this configuration is the XSE and XSE with tech package. So if you see one of these, you know that it has a lot of bling on the inside and the outside. Let's come around to the back and see what we have for extra visual cues. So here we are at the rear of the 2025 XSE tech package. So clearly denotes the trim level back here, and as you can see, Toyota has lost their conventional hybrid badging, and it just now says HEV. So just indicating that moving 25 and forward, most of our vehicles will say HEV, and because a lot of our platforms are migrating to hybrid only. So it's still telling you it's a hybrid, but it's just not drawing nearly as much attention to it visually as it used to. So this particular unit has the gloss black bumper with the rear sonar. You can see the sonar sensors here. And when we open the power lift gate, again, there's the open close button. So this particular unit doesn't have the foot sensor on it, but you can still open and close the gate both here on the button. You can use the key fob or on the dash for the driver to open and close. So this trim comes with cargo mat built in, JBL speaker system built in, so it's an 11 speaker system, fantastic audio. And again, with the rest of our RAV4s, this one particularly comes with the privacy tonneau cover and leather seating. Under here is your hybrid battery. There is a spare tire on these vehicles, so again, it's not a can of repair foam. That is an actual full-size spare tire. It is a dummy tire. You shouldn't drive 130 kilometers an hour on it, but it's still in there. It's an actual piece of rubber, so that's nice. So let's go back into the interior and see what we can see for features here. So here we are on the driver's side of the XSE tech package. So visually, what do I see immediately? Power driver seat with lumbar support. Lots of buttons on this vehicle that is over and above what would come on the standard package. So I have automatic high beams. We have the heated windshield for the parking area for your wipers, so that in cool conditions, your wipers don't ice up. This particular one has the rear view mirror that you can turn on and off from here to see in the rear of the vehicle. I have a heated steering wheel. Your trip odometer setting is down here, as well as the secondary button to open and close the rear hatch. This particular vehicle has some visual cues that I'm not used to in a basic vehicle. So the digital display that we're looking at or the cluster is customizable. You can actually change the configuration of this so it looks differently depending on the settings that you want to play with. The basic functionality is all the same. Gives you your fuel economy, your instantaneous fuel economy, your lifetime fuel economy, you know, full range of the tank, whether you're in EV mode, and all the safety features can be turned on and off here on the steering wheel in combination with what you're seeing when you look forward. It's one of the largest things that I see, obviously, is this sunroof above me, obviously is open, gives a little more light. The leather seating on the seats is lovely. It is a nice soft tech, so it's got nice texture, good cleanability, good usability for long term. And you also have the IQ wireless charging on this vehicle that is not standard on most of the lower trims. So heated seats, climate control, and of course we have Toyota's connected services with the embedded JBL sound system. On this particular unit, the difference between the JBL and the standard is quite noticeable, and if you're an audiophile, it may be something you want to look into if you're going to decide to go with one of the RAV4 hybrids. Is that little upgrade is really quite nice. So sunroof, wireless charging, and a lot of the tech on this vehicle is the really big difference as far as technology, and the rest of it is cosmetic. So I'm going to reset the seat here, make sure that's comfortable. Away we go. So that's about where I'd like to be for seating wise. So let's go have a look in the back and see how the legroom is for the rear. So here we are in the rear of the XSE 2025 RAV4 Hybrid. So obviously I'm at 5'10". I have the driver's seat configured where I'm comfortable to sit as a driver. I've got easily 6 inches of legroom, extra legroom here. And the obvious things I see, you've just got your regular handle here. You've got rear facing vents where the rear passengers have the ability to turn the air on and off. No actual controls, it's literally just opening and closing the vents. And there are 2 charging ports, and they are both USB-C, so both for rear passengers. This particular unit in this package comes with the rubberized floor mats that cover the little hump that through the center of the vehicle where the hybrid cable runs. Good utility there, and again, that's a standard feature with most of these vehicles. So leather seating is very comfortable. Armrest, very generous armrest here. Good squared out cup holders in both doors that are big enough for a pretty good sized water bottle if you so chose. And even with the headroom here with the sunroof, which generally gives us a longer headliner and a little less headroom, I've got, I'm gonna guess, over 3 inches of headspace here. So you could be, again, longer torso, easily be well up over 6 feet and still be relatively comfortable sitting here as a rear passenger. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop the hood as I had on most of these. Okay, let's, there's the test, is to see if I can find how to open this properly. And a little more, there we go. So there it is. It does sweep from right to left to release the hatch. As it is on all the RAV4 hybrids, it is a conventional prop rod. There are no pistons holding up the hood as you open it. And as you can see from this side, it's our conventional 2.5 liter hybrid drive that is in most of our product. The 2025 has been no major changes as far as the drivetrain on this vehicle. For the next generation 2026, our expectations are we will get a revised version of this drivetrain. But luckily for us, this one has been tried and true and incredibly reliable. Customers are loving it. We're seeing them come back with lots of kilometers on with no issues. So that's a great starting place. So as a consumer, the things that you are going to dabble in, there's your washer fluid. There's the expansion tank for your radiator, just so you can see that fluid levels are proper. The oil dipstick is there. That's really about it. A technician is going to look after the rest of it. Customers are telling us in summer conditions with summer tires, local driving, they're averaging in the low 5s, even in the high 4s, fuel economy wise. Hybrid has really been the way to go for us for the last few years. This particular package is a beautiful visual package with lots of toys. So for someone who really enjoys the toys in their vehicle and likes something with some eye, the XSE trim for 2025 is a great option. The XSE trim is probably one of the prettier packages we have, especially with the blacked out wheels and the black roof. And again, you'll know when you see one, if it does have the black roof and the black wheels, it is an XSE or an XSE Tech package just by default. So I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Thanks for watching today. Please like, subscribe, comment, positive, negative. We love the feedback. Thanks for watching.